Hello everyone, my name is John, and ever since I was young, I've been fascinated by the sun, not just its warmth, but its silent, endless energy. Today, I want to share with you the story of how I learned to turn sunlight into electricity through solar panels, a discovery that changed the way I see the world above my head. My journey began during a summer break when I visited a solar farm for the very first time. From a distance, it looked like a sea made of glass, thousands of solar panels lined up across the fields, tilting toward the sky like blue windows catching the sun. The air was quiet, softer than any power plant I had ever seen, but there was something deeply powerful in that calm. It felt like the earth itself was taking a slow breath while the sun fed it energy. Our guide for the day, Mr. Blake, was a solar engineer who spoke with passion and confidence. "You're standing," he said proudly, "in a power station that uses no fuel, makes no smoke, and never runs out of energy." Those words struck me immediately. No fuel, no burning, no roaring machines. I had visited coal and gas plants before, but this felt different, cleaner, brighter, almost peaceful. We began at the solar panel rows. Mr. Blake explained that each solar panel is made up of many tiny units called photovoltaic cells, or PV cells. These cells are usually made from silicon, a special material that responds to sunlight in a unique way. When sunlight hits the surface of the panel, it excites electrons inside the silicon. Those excited electrons begin to move, and this movement becomes electric current. "You don't see any flames," he said, "but this is energy, pure energy, born from light." We followed him to the inverter station, where the electricity generated by the panels was collected. Solar panels produce direct current DC, but homes and buildings use alternating current AC. The inverter works like a translator between two languages, turning DC into a C so that solar power can run lights, televisions, refrigerators, schools, and hospitals. Next, we stepped into a monitoring room, where screens showed graphs of sunlight levels and electricity output. It amazed me that the panels weren't just passively sitting under the sun, they were constantly communicating with computers. When the sun became stronger, the system increased power absorption. When a cloud passed overhead, output dropped slightly. Everything worked together smoothly, like a perfectly conducted orchestra. Mr. Blake then took us to a smaller building at the edge of the solar farm, the battery storage room. He explained that solar power doesn't always need to be used instantly. Modern systems store extra energy in large batteries during the day. When night arrives, the stored energy continues to power buildings. It felt almost magical knowing the sun could work even when it was no longer shining. "Solar energy is not just about capturing light," he said, "it's about preserving it." Later, we walked back outside, and I noticed how the panels seemed to follow the sun. They didn't move dramatically, but slowly. Throughout the day, they tilted to capture the best angle of sunlight. This tracking system ensures that every beam is used wisely. I had never thought about sunlight as something that could be aimed, caught, and used like water or fuel. Yet here, it was controlled and transformed into electricity. During a short break, I asked Mr. Blake if the solar farm ever harmed the environment. He shook his head gently. "Compared to fossil fuels," he said, "solar energy releases no smoke, no ash, and no harmful gases. Panels sit quietly, doing their job without changing the land too much. The sun gives, and we simply receive." As he spoke, I realized that solar power wasn't just a technology. It was a partnership between nature and human intelligence. To finish the tour, he brought us to the grid connection point. Thick cables stretched toward nearby towns, carrying clean electricity outward like veins, delivering life. Homes, schools, shops, and farms all received the energy created right there under the sky. Standing at the edge of the solar field, I felt something change inside me. I had always thought energy required fire, fuel, or noise, but here, surrounded by silent panels and warm sunlight, I learned that energy could be quiet, gentle, and endless. That afternoon, as we left the solar farm, I looked up at the sun in a new way. It was no longer just a bright ball in the sky, it was a constant engine, a steady heartbeat of Earth, sending power across space every second of every day. And with the right tools, we could catch that power, convert it, store it, and share it. And that is the story of how I discovered the incredible journey of solar energy. Transformed through quiet panels, patient sunlight, and human innovation,